Okay, so I will not take your time today, right here. So I will basically do it, and let's start from the beginning. So if you are learning about AI or wanted to learn about AI, I am not talking about beginners who already have an idea about what is Python, what is SQL, how this thing works, this kind of things. Then and you want to get a job in this field, then you have to do something like you have to read it in deep. Now, what I am doing, I am not teaching you right there. As I have told you from the very beginning, I am just sharing my experience that I am facing right now to you so that you don't have to suffer. I have suffered so much. I have suffered so much because I thought I learned AI, like AGI, API, the AI things, but then I realized that's all are APIs under a wrapper. So I started this journey. This journey has two paths. Like every game, this journey has two paths. First path is the hardcore path. Hardcore path means you have to understand the theory. You have to solve some problems. You need to be capable enough to solve any kind of problems that you are going to face. That's why it is a hardcore path. Next comes the IT path or information technology, that is basically CS path, you can say. So they are going to learn the coding techniques, every kind of coding techniques. Technique, I am not talking about coding. You know coding already. If you are seeing this, you already know the coding. If you don't know, then you can check on any Python or SQL or whatever courses you want to learn. So if you already know coding, you have to understand the concepts. You have to start decoding. You have to start understanding what is happening right now, not only if loop, if loop or for loop or this kind of things. Not only this, these are the basic steps for AI or ML engineer or any kind of higher level role. You have to understand it completely, what is coding, how it is going to happen, and how you are using it, how you will use it in this field. So that is two part. In hardcore part, we first introduce statistics. What's in statistics, like basic probability and this kind of things? No, obviously not. You should learn about yeah, you should learn about KL divergence. You should start from KL divergence. As you have I guess you have some basic concepts about probability distribution. That's all you're gonna need, and at least you have been told like that's all you're gonna need. So if you're having these kind of things, then it's okay. That's not a big deal. If you have an idea about probability distribution, how these things works, then it's okay. I don't need to recap everything. You just revise 1 or 2 hours, that will be enough for you. Then start from KL divergence. KL divergence is Kullback Leibler divergence. Why it's important? It is the basic starting point of everything that you're gonna start. I will disclose this later. Next comes changes of variable due to distribution or probability distribution, something like that. Yeah, changes in variables. Why it's important? Even in the course, if you can relate with the course, you can change the variable or this kind of things. That seems to be easy, but in case of problem solving, changing a variable is a very big deal. Like you cannot change anything like, I don't like the value of this variable, let's change it. It's not like that. You cannot do like that. So everything changes right there. So that's the basic problem, that's the basic point of view. That's the thing I wanted to tell you. And next you will start from Karapathy's autograd or micrograd. That's what I will call phase one, the beginner phase, like Kullback Leibler divergence or changes in variables or other basic stuffs of statistics like probability and this kind of things. This is basically phase zero. Then you start from phase one. Phase one is autograd or micrograd. Let's talk about these three right now. I will discuss again if I am not getting any response. Okay, so I will discuss it again after some day or after some time. And now comes to the IT path, like the CSE path or the coding path. Here comes, I will say start from SQL. Well, you already know a little bit of Python, and I guess you cannot master Python the way you're gonna master SQL. Means that is mastering SQL is faster, but it has some logics. It don't have some fancy things like fancy operators or this kind of things. Obviously, it have CT and Windows Fantasy, so it is pretty tough than the basic ones. But still, it is okay type. Okay, you don't have to spend too much time. Just spend 2 hours a day. That will be all to master SQL within 2 weeks. I will say not 1 week. Within 2 weeks, you cannot master Python like that. You don't have even you don't even have to practice the SQL queries. Obviously, you don't have to. You just need to understand which query can be used in which cases, like problem solving skills. So in SQL queries, I will say start from the precaps, then come to where clause, then come to indexing, like sorry, precap, then indexing, then where clause, then scalability, then operations, etc. etc. It goes. I am following like Winand's SQL experience or something. The book name I forget. I told you with yes in previous video. So I basically following these things and. Mhm. Yeah, that's all I'm following for SQL, and that's all for AI, real AI steps. Um, okay, that's pretty much all that you need to know about the roadmap. And now come to know why you should learn this. This is not gonna be asked directly into an interview. I'm telling you obviously, it's not gonna be asked. But if you want to solve a problem, I face this problem. I face this like I feel so much depressed when I cannot answer some basic stuffs or basic questions to the interviewer, which was related to this. Means when I was understanding Kullback leveler divergence, I get to understand how this divergence things actually works in case of neural network. It's basically important for neural network or everything connected to neural network. Even AI is connected to neural network. So I got to understand this. Then during the calculus parts, then during some uh, changes in variable parts, basically everything changes, everything drastically changes. All those things were needed, not too much important but needed. Everything drastically changes after I started autograd. I finished autograd or micrograd in depth and details, no bluff, today. And I learned how neural network basically works. It's basically autograd machine, also micrograd machine. When you understand that whole factor of Karpathy's whole autograd function, then you can understand, you will basically back engineer the neural network. Okay, you will just basically, this is basically a back engineering step of neural network. You are just breaking neural network each part, starting from the zero, then understanding what's happening, then building the neural network again, the way generative AI studies. So this is important for that. These two things I say start from here. I researched for literally say 1 month before starting everything, because I don't want to go on a wrong path. So I started from here. I will share with the other details in the next topics also. And these things, like, I'm not selling any courses or nobody is selling any courses. I'm not even so much famous, but still I think talking, looking at the camera is everything I should do right now. I love to talk. I love to spread knowledge. So why not? Let's give it a try. What's happen? जो होगा देखा जाएगा. Okay, then I'm not starting the education right now because I'm still finding a way how to show these things. Like, I'm literally know nothing about the video editing and this kind of thing. So I'm not gonna put any kind of effort in video editing. I will just basically switch the camera and show you what I'm learning right now. That's basically all I can do. Because as obviously I am not someone's content creator. I'm just uploading reels, uploading videos.